Okay, so if you don't know, there is this show called Murder Drones, which I am actually a huge fan of, to not say that I am completely addicted to it. And so one day, while listening to the OST of the show, my completely corrupted mind had a thought. What if I tried to make a Geometry Dash level themed around murder drones? When I first came up with this idea, since it was like 1 year ago, I decided to wait so that I have more creation experience before doing it. But that was until a few months ago, before the release of episode 7, that I thought maybe it was time. Also, you may will notice that this video is kinda inspired of Vitwell's videos. I just hope that people won't call me a copycat.
I really like your videos. It's okay. Is it okay for me to make a video inspired of yours? No, it's not. It's no problem, my bro. Go ahead, have fun.
So as you may guess, the first thing I did for the level is to choose a music. And the music I choose for this level is a remix of the main OST of the show called Disassembly Required. Now, I know I could have technically used the original version of this song, but I just thought that the remix would fit better inside of a Geometry Dash level. My main idea for this level is that I'm going to make each part one by one, and each part will represent a specific episode of the show. And since this is the first part, I'm going to remake the first episode into Geometry Dash. And by the way, remember that at this point, my objective was to make the third part before episode 7 drops. Keep this in mind because at some point it will be a problem. But in any case, let's just dive into the subject, starting with the gameplay. For the layout, since I don't really know what type of difficulty I wanted to make, I just started by making some very simple cube gameplay, and I tried to make some interesting structures. Even though this one looked like shit. I also added a bit of camera controls, just to make sure that there isn't any blind jumps in this level. I then decided to make a very small ball part, followed by a spider part. And I know that this block structure looks kinda weird, but don't worry, you'll understand later why I did this. Now that the layout is finished, this is how the gameplay looks like. After the gameplay was done, I immediately wanted to start decorating, but before doing it, I decided to rewatch the episode so I have more inspiration on how to make it. Now, you might be thinking that this is just an excuse for me to just do nothing and rewatch the episodes for the 600th time. Yes, it is. To explain quickly what I planned for the deco, what I wanted to do is that the cube part will take place outside, and then we enter the ball part, where the player enter inside the bunker. Simple enough, right? However, for some reason, at this moment I had absolutely no freaking idea on how to make the deco. So I just started by doing some very simple things like the ground and background color, and also this kind of planet that we see in the show for some reason, and stop sign. Yeah, let's just say that at this moment I tried to find something, but my mind was just not capable of coming up with anything. So I just quitted the level thinking that maybe I will continue it later, maybe like 3 or 4 days later. Okay, so it turned out that a lot of things actually happened that made me completely forgot about the level, until one day I saw this. When I first saw this, I was really happy because, I mean, come on, boy, it has been 6 months since we didn't have any news. Like, just imagine a game that would take 12 times this amount of time to release an update. But after that, I quickly realized that I'm actually in a huge shit. So right when I had time, I decided to start decorating it, but unlike most of my levels where I usually start by doing the block design, for some reason this time I actually decided to start by making the background. So for this part background, I tried to do some buildings with windows, some kind of ice on the left side, and most importantly, a huge black glow at the bottom of these. Wait, what the fuck are you thinking about? I also tried to arrange the sides of the buildings to make it look like the buildings got damaged because I don't know, maybe because the core of this planet fucking exploded. Then once the first building were done, I tried to connect the first ones with some kind of cables. Don't ask me why that, I kinda like to do this in my levels for some reason. I also tried at some point to make this specific buildings that you can see in the episode with two worker drones watching and judging you after looking at your internet browser history. But it ended up really bad, so I just got rid of it. And then, once the buildings were done, it was time to make the background of the part inside of the bunker. For this part, I tried to replicate the texture of metal. Spoiler alert, I'm very bad at doing that. And I also make these kind of triangles. Yeah, I don't exactly know why I did this, but it ended up looking cool, so I kept it. After that, I decided to upgrade the background by giving some depth to the buildings and making it slightly move. Then I decided to fill a bit more the background by making different layers of buildings that are made slowly move at different speeds. And personally, I think this is actually really cool and eventually makes the background way better. Now that the background is completely finished, it is time for the block design. For the block design, I had absolutely no idea of what to do, to be honest. And also, not gonna lie, I am not very good at making block design. When I made the block design for the first part, not gonna lie, it was pure shit. But to be honest, I was just way too tired to remake it. That until during the making of this video that I somehow decided to get better at making block designs. And after a while, I decided to remake these block designs. But anyway, here is the final product. And to be honest, it actually doesn't look that bad. For the second part, I decided to make those vents. I added some details like these spinning things, spikes, and animated objects that I don't really know the name. Then I made some other block designs in the second part. And for the last block, I tried to make it look like it was the second door of the bunker. And in my opinion, it actually looks pretty sick. And finally, after finishing every block design, the part was almost over. Finally, bro. The only thing left I wanted to do is a transition between the part I made in this video and the part I will make in the next video. And for that, I had a pretty neat but yet very simple idea. I basically tried to recreate this yellow logo that appears on the Murderjohn's visors, or I don't know, I still don't understand what the fuck this logo means. And I also recreated the Absolute Solver logo in purple. Strangely, even though the Absolute Solver logo is more detailed, I think I struggled more with the other logo because I needed to find the perfect angle for the cross. Then I made these two bad boys pulse faster and faster, and on the side of the screen I added some text that contained Murderjohn references, computer shit, and tidal wave. And then once the pulsing was very fast, I just put errors text because, well, why not? And now the part was finally done. Oh my god, I couldn't wait any longer to see the final result. But first, since I didn't want the side of the transition to fade off, I made sure to select every single object of the level and then make them don't fade, don't enter by simply clicking the... No. No, 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 no. It took me around a full hour to recreate the entirety of this fucking transition, and thank god I had OBS recording this entire time, because if I didn't, I would have just quit. But yeah, after fixing this issue, the level was finally finished, bro. But before I show the final result, I kinda wanted to make some time-lapse things. And I didn't find any place where I could fit this except here, so fuck it. If you're tired of me and just want to see the final result, here's a time code. But if you are here, thank you very much for watching this video until the end. I know I clearly don't have a very good English accent when speaking in front of a mic, so I really appreciate. To be honest, this video took way too long to make, so for the next one, I will try to be quicker. If you want to see the progress of this level, I created this forum on the JD server. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, or do whatever you want, I don't know. And I'll see you another time.
N